Hello, everyone. Hi. So my topic is We Will Rise. So one day, me and my aunt were going to Tivana, and as we walked around in the store, I saw that the employee was following us. And I asked her, do you know why she's following us? She said, no. So we continued to look around, and I saw this white girl getting tea for her mom. So I said, free sample, I'm about to go get tea for myself too. So as I'm going up to go grab me some tea, I see the employee walking towards me. And she asked me, what are you doing? And I said, getting some tea. So she said, you can't do it by yourself. And I said, I'm pretty sure I'm old enough to pour myself some tea. So she comes over, and she's still there, and I'm like, okay. She takes the cup from me and actually pours me the tea. Now, imagine me just looking like wow, like you're pouring me tea. So as she's there, she's pouring me a centimeter of tea. And I go to my aunt and I say, here, this is what she poured you. And my aunt asked, why did she ask you what you were doing? Why did she pour you tea? Then I realized the employee wasn't racist, but she also had a stereotypical mindset. So I said, okay. Before we left, because I was so angry, I went to go pour myself some tea. And I made it to the top. Like, I poured myself some tea. And I walked out, and I said, thank you for your service. And then she said, you're welcome. It's 2016, and the topic that still remains is, does racism still exist? Although this can be an uncomfortable topic, it needs to be addressed in order for change to happen. The great Martin Luther King once said, this is not the time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. We are the sum of the past. Whatever we do now will affect the future, and if we don't act now, change will never happen. Growing up as a young black female, I was always bullied, judged, or stereotyped. I was always told that because I had a darker complexion than others, that I wasn't beautiful. Or when I went to school, people asked, why is your mom light and you're dark? I don't know. So throughout those years, I realized that I began to grow a hate for my own self. I didn't like being black anymore. I didn't care about any impact that had to do with being black. Because I thought if society didn't like me, then why should I like myself? Now imagine a 10-year-old girl going to the bathroom every day, scrubbing her skin as 10 times hard as you can imagine, just so she can wake up to be a white girl. Just imagine a young girl visualizing herself as a lighter complexion. I mean, it was harsh. Crying every day because someone told me that I wasn't beautiful because I had a darker complexion. People asking me, why is your parents light and you're dark? And I didn't have an answer. Because with a 10-year-old mindset, I'm thinking, they're probably right. You know, why is my parents light and I'm black? So as I grew up, I started to see Michelle Obama, Melody Hobson, and Amanda Steinberg talking about how a woman should learn how to love theirself. And that's what I started to do. I learned how to love myself. I learned how to accept being black. And at that moment, I realized that all those people who judged me, stereotyped me, they wanted me to feel pain. They didn't want me to be happy about who I was. And that's what I felt. But then as I got older, I realized that you are a young black woman. You are amazing. And every day I looked in the mirror, I told myself, you're going to change the world. And I was like, okay, I'm going to change the world. I'm going to go out today, and I'm going to talk about how to empower young women. And that's what I did. I empowered young women. Ambition, sensation, discombobulation, anger that creates danger. Dark skin with natural hair, they watch her as she lifts the room. Stare, glare, the external and internal vision that she creates. Why would they contemplate my innate greatness? Tyree King, a young black boy who was shot and killed by the police. It hit me hard because I know how the pain of losing someone feels. Because I lost my brother. So when I heard that he was shot and killed because opposable media said he was carrying an exact replica BB gun as a policeman, I thought that was the most preposterous thing that I've ever heard. Because as a young black boy, if he was carrying a gun, I mean, he'd probably know how to use one because he's black, right? And I sat there and I said, because if it was a white boy, they would have said, oh, he has some type of sickness, or, you know, he's a child, so we won't do anything. But why couldn't they see he was a child at that moment? Why couldn't they go through the procedures? Because he was a child. His life hadn't begun yet. Yes, racism still exists. And I know there can be a moment of silence for all black lives that were killed, but when will there be a moment of justice? We need to have a moment of justice for all these black lives that were killed, because it was injustice at the time. It still is at this time. After 400 years of slavery, I'm still being judged because I'm a black woman. And I've got 3 on my hand. I'm a black woman, you know, and I have a darker complexion. And then again, I'm Muslim, so, you know, everyone's gonna think, oh, she's a terrorist. We must learn how to rise together, come together as one. I know that we are being heard, but how long until I will be listened to? I have a voice, but all together we have voices. And that is what we need to use. For my generation, speak up, for your words can mean many things. Yes, I'm a 9th grader, yes, I'm 14 years old, but I want my voice to be louder than anything. Sometimes I sit and visualize myself as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and I'm like, I'm gonna change the world. Because today we will rise. And if it's not today, tomorrow we will rise. And if it takes 10 more years, I hope that we will rise. Because I know the potential that is in my generation. We are hiding behind the walls of social media because we don't want to come to the conclusion that there is racism in this world. We must learn how to rise. For those who are silent, speak up, for your words can mean many things. Let America fly to its destiny instead of its past. Let us all look at each other as the same. Love is what we need. Change is what we need. Acceptance is what we need to learn. We must learn how to accept each other. Then we will rise to the potential that God has given each and every one of us. Thank you.